Bank balances match QuickBooks, and QuickBooks is our official accounting software that we use here at the office. That all matches and balances. There were some errors in the typed report that is in the Zoar report. So we're going to make those adjustments. We're going to work on that the next couple weeks, and then that will be represented as a formal written report. But the books are in good order from a standpoint of balances matching and so on and so forth. Are there questions about that? We don't want to leave anyone with any feelings or concern. Mom's giving me the slow down motion, sorry. This is the last thing I have to do, Mom, it's done. This is it. So, all right, thank you very much to that group who has worked all week to get that done, and that is not an easy task and not something that is a lot of fun to do, and so I appreciate those that have that skill set and can do that for our church. Thank you very much for taking care of that. Wanted to make sure that we also gave thanks this year to all of those who have made this church happen this year. It does not go unnoticed by myself or by the council how many volunteers it takes to make all the things happen at this church, whether it's what is with the paper hats in the back. This is supposed to be important professional stuff. It does not go unnoticed how much people volunteer and work and do for this church. Thank you very much, whether you've served on a committee or helped do something with one of the kiddos or brought a donation for something that we've done or run the soundboard or any, pulled weeds in the landscape, all of those things that just have to get done. Thank you so much for all of those things that get done day in and day out to make our church a success and to, serve our community around us. Old business, I wanted to bring to the attention, it was in the bulletin today, but it has been a topic of business for the last couple of years, is developing a website for Zoar. We finally have one. It is zoarchurchevv.com. I would encourage you to go and look at it. We use Digital Upgrade, which is a company that Alex Huber owns, for those of you who remember that name. His company helped us develop it. It is still a little bit of a work in progress, but it is functional, it is useful, so please check it out and enjoy that and share that with others who might be interested. Is there any other old business? All right, we'll move on to new business, and with that, I will let Daniel present the 2023 budget.
So first off, thank you all for your generous pledges and donations this year. Our budget is never fully reflective of the amount of people that donate their time, money, energy to the work that goes on here. So thank you for that. Thank you for your pledges for moving forward in the next year. Overall, so far as pledges are pretty well flat from where we are from year to year. That has not changed that much. I've kind of employed the council as we move forward. One of the best things we can do for this church, not only in terms of money, but is to continue the mission of the church and grow this church. That overall will help with money coming in, because as members pass away and as people and lives change, having additional people here helps continue functioning the work that Zoar does. So just keep that in mind as we move into next year. We've spent a lot of time and money with a lot of maintenance. A lot of things have been repaired over the last 3 to 4 years. We are finally out of HVAC units. There is one heater that powers the bathrooms in the lower portion of the fellowship hall that, who knows, it could last another 10, 20 years. It gets used very minimally. So we consider most of the major expenses having been replaced now. And we've got roofs on all our buildings that are fairly new. So a lot of the major expenses of the church, maintenance-wise, have been kind of taken care of. Like for you guys to, as we move forward, to kind of look at building our membership and reaching out to the community, because that overall will help our budget. With that in mind, most of the things for this year, we were pretty well almost on target outside of one additional HVAC unit and a rather expensive tree that fell down that kind of affected our bottom line for the year. Overall, we were pretty well flat from where we had predicted and budgeted, but all the money that we had set aside about 3-4 years ago for HVAC units has been eaten up with cost increases and just materials in general going up. That is overall, that is the budget for this year. Does anyone have any questions, concerns about anything in particular? We spent quite a bit of time with the budget committee and through church council trying to make sure that what we're presenting is a fairly accurate assessment of the monies that we have and how we've allocated things. Awesome.
If there are no questions regarding the budget, we do need a motion to approve the budget as presented in the Zoar report. Second, Joe Wingo was the motion, so a second? A second. Alex Pritchett's the second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you for your work. Being church treasurer is not for the faint of heart either, and I appreciate your efforts for that. Thank you. The other piece of new business that we had was to update the Constitution with regard to the job role of financial secretary. The church constitution lays out job-specific roles within the church council, and the financial secretary historically has been the person who counted Sunday offering. As the council has shrunk a little bit with the approval of the congregation, and as people's jobs shift, when that money gets counted has shifted to Monday morning. That makes it harder for someone who works. And so we have had a retired volunteer who has helped do that now for who was in that position and then has continued to do so. And so we just needed to make the constitutional change that it would officially allow for that designee to count the offering with the church secretary in lieu of the financial secretary, or instead of the financial secretary, I guess I should say. So that is what that constitutional change is. It doesn't really change anything that we're doing. It doesn't change any of our checks and balances systems. It just is it makes the paperwork match what we're actually doing, frankly. So are there questions about that or concerns? In which case, I would need a motion to accept. Yes. I think it would, in the way the council has decided it at this point, it would be the financial secretary's responsibility or their designee. So with the council.
How do they determine who the designee is?
We haven't come that far, Joe. I don't have an answer for that. I'll be honest. I don't have an answer for that. That's a fair question. That's a fair question. And if we are more comfortable tabling that till we have that answer, that's fair. Yeah.
Or how about adding language, financial secretary or designee approved by church council?
Can we get behind that? Okay, so for that, it would be a designee approved by the church council. Is that? Okay. You got that language official there, Courtney? Thank you. Thank you. Good questions. Thank you. Other questions, concerns? If so, then we need a motion to make that change as presented, that it would be the financial secretary or their designee determined by church council. Larry makes a motion. Do we have a second? A second. Who was that? Matt Schneider makes a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Whew, we're at the end. I hope you'll indulge me for just a few moments while I make some personal remarks. I had no idea what my life would look like 3 years ago when I went on the church council. It has changed night and day. And I had no idea. And one of the first conversations Adam and I had while we were just getting to know each other, he's like, I think it's so neat that you're involved in all this stuff. He had no idea. And I can't say thank you enough to Adam for all of his support and encouragement, all of your support and encouragement. I have tried very hard to serve this church and to serve our Lord humbly and with good faith and in good faith. And I've not always done that very well, but I have tried very hard, and I would not have been able to do that without the support of Adam and Mom and Dad and the rest of you. So thank you all very much. I would encourage you to be in prayer for your new church council president, Michelle, and her family. This is a big job, and she's got a busy, active family, so be in prayer for her and her family and your entire church council. Those prayers are felt and known. So thank you all very much, and I look forward to just getting to come on Sundays for a little while. So would you all stay and pray with me in the Lord's Prayer as we adjourn our meeting today? Unless somebody wants to stick around longer, and then you don't have to stand and pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right. Thank you. I guess we do need an official motion to adjourn. Tracy so moves. Do we have a second? All those in favor? Thank you.